Yo guys, what is good? It's your favorite supreme leader, Cameron. And today I'm going to be telling you guys if you guys should actually make a two-way or a lockdown. Because trust me, it's not for everyone. It is a really good thing to have in your archetype. Putting that defense in there is going to help you in a lot of things. And it's something that you definitely want to consider, but it's not something that is for everyone, okay? So let's get right into it. So I can definitely shoot, I can dunk, I can play defense, I can dribble on my two-way playmaking slasher or two-way slashing playmaker. It's the Russell Westbrook build. I've got a bunch of videos on it, jump shot video and all of that. They're all in the description, so check them out if you want to. But in saying that, it's not all positives to being a two-way or putting lockdown in your build. So first off, we're going to go through all the positives and then we're going to go through all the negatives. So obviously the biggest positive about being a lockdown is that you're getting a lot of stops. It's very fun, but especially when you can see your teammates' reactions and getting all the negative messages being like, oh my days, how is this fun for you to play? It is very fun to play, okay? Stealing the ball from people and seeing their frustration is just a fun thing. I know it's a terrible thing to say, but it is a very enjoyable thing, taking away from other people's fun, especially while you are having fun while doing so. Being able to get steals, running the break, all of that kind of stuff that's helping out your teammates is very good, because it's taking away from the other team and it's helping your team out so much, because those extra few possessions can mean your teammates can mess around a little bit, you can have a little more fun, and you're still able to get the win because you're able to get a few more stops. Another huge benefit to being a lockdown this year is lockdowns get such a high driving dunk that it doesn't just boost your defensive stats, but it also makes a huge increase to your finishing ability. Your layups, your driving dunk, all of that go up so much that it actually allows my 6'4" playmaking defender pie chart to get contact dunks. So I can speed boost, I've got the clams, and I can dunk on people. I actually get the elite contact dunks. And if you saw my 6'9" pure lockdown video, then you know that pure lockdown build gets the elite contact dunk animations. So you can be a pure lockdown defender this year and get contact dunk animations, which means there's almost no point of going a slashing defender. Obviously, another part with this about being able to dunk on people is that your athleticism stats get boosted so much. If you guys don't know, lockdowns have the best athleticism in the game. They have the highest combination of strength and vertical, and they have a good bit of speed. So if you're putting lockdown in your build is automatically faster, stronger, with a better vertical no matter what pie chart you choose. Also this year they combined the defense and rebounding into the same archetype, which means that if you go a two-way or a lockdown, you're getting the max rebounding stats for your position. And you guys know how overpowered rebounding is this year? It's very overpowered, okay? Rebounding is so good this year that if you don't have rebounding, people are getting rebounds like 100% of the time. Inside centers are so overpowered this year because they have such a high rebounding and they can just keep getting the ball back. If you're a guard and you're getting rebounding, you can be the one replacing the inside center, and as long as you're taller than your man, you can be doing the same job as the inside centers are if you're playing with a stretch big. So think about that. And also, a lot of the smaller players can actually get a 95 strength. So if you're playing with a stretch big, you can switch roles so that once you run the pick and roll, they'll either have to switch the stretch onto the center, or if they stay, you're going to get a little bit of space and you're going to be able to out-snag your point guard. Because let's be honest, no point guard upgrades their rebounding this year, so you're going with a player that has like a 70-80 rebounding compared to a player that has like a 25 rebounding. Like, you're gonna get the rebound every single time. Now, another thing that makes lockdown so insane this year is that we can choose our own takeover. So 90% of the time, if you maxed out your driving dunk when you're making it your player, then you're going to be able to get contact dunk animations, as well as something like slashing takeover, which is incredibly broken. Now, obviously, you can get lockdown takeover, and lockdown takeover is pretty good, but let's be honest, slashing takeover is the most broken takeover in the game. It's literally blow-bys and contact dunks all day, so you can get something like slashing takeover on a lockdown. So you can play a bit of defense, get your takeover, and now you're a pure slasher pretty much. So you can be super versatile with your build as long as you upgrade it right and be able to get your takeover. Something else that lockdowns have this year that they didn't have in 2K19 was the fact that the interceptor is so good this year. Passing lane steals are really, really good, and they're not planning to patch them like they were last year. Last year, as soon as the game came out, everyone was complaining about it, and they were wanting to patch passing lane steals. But this year, they're a little bit more balanced, but they're still really, really good. So we can play really, really good off-ball defense, looking for those passing lane steals, and pick up a lot of steals there. I know a lot of people really like that, and combine that with a playmaking badge like a downhill, so when we get the steal or the intercept, all of a sudden we're running the break incredibly fast. We can be really, really good. Also this year, we're able to equip goal catcher and shoot on any of our lockdowns as long as we upgrade our 3-point attributes and our shooting attributes a little bit, which means that I don't have any badges and I'm shooting with like a 63-point shot. It means that once we get our badges, lockdowns are able to shoot really, really good in NBA 2K20, which is always an overpowered thing. As soon as you get lockdowns that can shoot, all of a sudden we become running up lineups like 3 lockdowns. We run lineups like 1 guard and 2 lockdowns because they're so good for spacing the floor and getting stops. Now, before we get into the negatives, just make sure you've hit that like and subscribe button if you're still watching, as well as comment down below why you're watching this video. Are you watching this video because you have a lockdown and you're thinking about making a new player, or just trying to figure out other things that lockdowns are doing? Or is it because you want to make a lockdown or a 2-way or something like that? Also, comment down below which builds you have. So do you have a 2-way or do you not have a 2-way? Just comment down that below. And also, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Now, I know this was a positive, right? I said we could shoot, but we also can't shoot, okay? We can and we can't shoot. We're obviously not shooting 90%. We're shooting to that 50, 60%. Maybe with a player that has Dimer, we're shooting that 70, 80%. But that's the problem. Nobody has Dimer. Nobody upgrades Dimer on their player. Everyone's focused on handles for days, quick first step, stop and go. Everyone is selfish. So you're not going to be able to find too many people that are playing with Dimer that is really, really going to be able to help you shoot. As well as if they patch jump shot 38 and we can't find another good jump shot, we don't know what's going to happen, okay? It's still early game. We can shoot right now. Generally, shooting gets better throughout the year, but we don't know what 2K is going to do. We don't know if 2K is going to make it easier or harder for us to shoot. It also is really, really hard to get your shooting badges, okay? Because yes, we don't hit 1-3 every couple of games. I'm only really taking 1-3 every couple of games. Maybe it's going to be different for you, maybe because you're not a slasher. But me personally, I'm a slasher. Most of us lockdowns and 2-ways have such a high driving dunk that we're a slasher, okay? It will say in your name that you have such a high driving dunk, even though you didn't choose it in your pie chart, that you will be a slasher. And when your player says you're a slasher, it is something that instinctively says inside you, I need to be driving to the ring, I need to be getting inside. I don't know if that's for all of you or if it's just for me, but I feel like my job as a slasher is to get inside and dunk on people. So I'm not taking a lot of threes, which makes it so hard to get the shooting badges. I'm still only like 1/10 of the way to my first shooting badge, and I've hit like maybe 20 shots. Another problem with 2-ways and lockdowns is that on-ball defense has been heavily patched this year. On-ball defense is nowhere near as good as it has been in previous years. Don't say, oh, it's because you don't have too many badges yet. I know I only have Pickpocket Bronze and Interceptor Bronze. I don't even have Clamps or Pickpocket Hall of Fame yet. But the thing is, I've played on players that have the same steal rating, an 80 steal rating like I do. And the thing is, you get a lot more on-ball steals, okay? And the reason for this is because quick first step is so quick that if you're trying to stop and trying to reach, like, that's how you get steals, right? You stop and you reach when your player isn't moving. But the problem is that this year, everyone's got this quick first step that makes your players so fast that they can get out of the animations really quickly. There's also badges like Unpluckable that a lot of people are putting on their players. That's going to help them to not get stripped, which makes it harder for us lockdowns. Now, another problem is that everyone focused on their speed this year, okay? Everyone knows that speed is the most important thing for offense on this game. So all the guards maxed out their speed, which means even if I have a 95 speed, like I do on my Russell Westbrook build, Everyone else has a 95 speed and you can't keep up with anyone. With that quick first step, you cannot catch up because they've got a 95 speed, right? You've got a 95 speed, they've got a 95 speed, but then once they come off that quick first step, all of a sudden they've got 110 speed and you're not going to be able to keep up with them. In saying that though, everyone has the same problem playing on defense. It's fairly hard to play defense this year. And two-ways have less of a problem than other people, but the simple fact is that it's not as overpowered as other years have been, so don't expect to be ripping everyone constantly. Yes, you can rip everyone constantly. I've had 5 steals in a single part game playing with randoms. I get at least 1 or 2 steals a game, most games, but the thing is, most of those steals are now coming from intercepts where they used to come from pickpockets and poking the ball loose. Quick summary of if you should make a lockdown. They are a good build. Two-ways, being a two-way or being a lockdown does help you in a lot of things, but is it really worth the sacrifice to offense to you? Because another negative that I didn't really mention was the fact that my games on my lockdown go for so much longer than my games on my pure sharp. Every single game that I played on my lockdown generally goes for like 10 to 15 minutes. Every game that I play with on my pure sharp is generally done between 5 to 10 minutes. So take into all these considerations which builds you're going to make, and tell me in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'm out. See ya.